off their studio land in order to stay in business. But even after they did that, they went under. But Universal Studios, we thought, you know what? We've got the equipment. Let's go ahead and make some more movies. Movies about monsters. And those monster movies, they provided a form of escapism for people who were struggling at that time. And they were so financially successful for us that they kept our studio running without us ever having to sell off any of our land. That's why today, Universal Studios is not only the largest studio in Hollywood, but the largest studio in North America. It's considered about 400 acres large. The second largest studio here in Hollywood, those are our neighbors right across Farm Avenue. That's Warner Brothers, and they're barely half the size. They sit at about 100 acres large. Let me get some filmmakers up here on the screen to talk about why they love our Universal monsters so much.
Ya vine aquí, mi service. Ya vine aquí a couple of times.
The Mummy, The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Pero es como Fast and Furious, like part like 8 or I don't know.
That Frankenstein image, Flathead, Bulk. It's one of the great icons of the world.
That to me was like the essence of the Universal horror film. I was just mesmerized by these men. Boris Karloff, Lon Chaney.
I remember the original Universal Studios Mummy movie really scaring me.
They still ring in our memories now, and we love them.
Now, folks, those Universal monsters of the past really paved the way for our monsters of the future.
Ya salieron ellos. Ya salieron de aquí.
Alright, folks, so hey, I want to let you know we're about maybe halfway through the tour, so just a reminder again to please remain seated. The studio is private property, so if you drop your phones or just can't wait to use the restroom, pull the cord, remain seated, then I'll be back to assist you as soon as it's safe to do so. Alrighty, folks, this is incredible. Remember earlier, before we started, I said if we were loud enough for Jordan, he was going to get us some extra special behind-the-scenes access. But folks, it's happening right now. So there has been a movie filming here on the soundstage for the past 2 months. They've been really secretive about their production, but because they are off for this week, they've allowed a select number of trams special access to drive in and take a little sneak peek at the set that they've built, and Jordan made sure that we were one of those trams. That was incredible. A reminder again to please remain seated, hold on tight to your valuables, all right? This is another one of the times when I'm not allowed to enter into this hot or fully dressed set because I can't disrupt anything that's in this area. So please hold on tight to your stuff. Oh, look at this. All right. Oh, they built an entire subway station beside here. Okay. Oh, okay, now check this out. If you look to your left, you see those posters on the wall?
They're filming
San Francisco.
todo esto mostraba.
It's giving us a little clue as to what city this movie is going to be set in, right? San Francisco. Okay. All right, so near here. All right, well, sorry about that. Hey, please remain seated. Hold on very tight. We've been getting a bunch of little earthquakes here in LA. Okay, everybody. I don't think this is just a little earthquake. I think this might be the big one. And the Oscar for best performance by a tour guide in a theme park acting like he was in an earthquake goes to your tour guide, Amir. Oh, thank you, thank you. Clap for me. Thank you, thank you. Hey, congrats, everybody. You just survived Earthquake, the big one. That attraction opened up in the year 1989, and it is based off of the Universal movie Earthquake, the Universal movie called Earthquake that stars Richard Roundtree and Ava Gardner. All right, folks, my acting was just so good in there that it really freaked you out. You thought we were really in an earthquake. Don't get mad at me. You know why? That earthquake is not my fault. My fault. Wow, tough tram. Alrighty, folks. Well, since I just delivered an Oscar-worthy performance, it is now your time to shine. We're going to show you what it's like to be a background actor in a movie. Congrats, you're being cast in the movie Jaws. Alright, here's what's going on. So your direction is to remain seated the entire time. Now, once we get to Amity Island, you're going to see some water.
Jaws.
This is your job. If you see a shark in the water, yell, shout, scream the name George, because George is currently in the water going for a swim. You got to warn him and get him out of the water, okay? So again, if you see a shark in the water, scream for George. Here we go. Places and action. All right, I see a shark. Everybody shout for George. Get George. Here's some good screams. All right, it worked. George, buddy, there's a shark coming towards you. Get in your boat. George, come on, George. What are you doing, man? Are you trying to fight the shark? All right, George, you can do it. Show us what you're made of. Not like that.
George got him!
Great work, everybody. You did good. We're now moving on to the next scene. We're going to hide behind these super safe barrels of gasoline. For this scene again, add the scare as possible. If you see something funny. And
More?
wow, great work, everybody. Give yourselves a nice big round of applause. You did great. Good job, good job, good job. Now, the movie Jaws had just celebrated its 50th anniversary this year. It originally released in theaters back on June 20th of 1975. Wow. The movie Jaws is an incredible film directed by Steven Spielberg. And Steven Spielberg actually gave that shark a name. Yeah, he named the shark Bruce. He named the shark Bruce after his attorney, Bruce Raymer. Because, folks, what could be scarier than a man-eating shark? That's right, a Hollywood lawyer. Now, show of hands. Who here has seen Disney Pixar's movie Finding Nemo? Oh, I see a couple hands up. All right, everybody, all together now. What's the name of the shark from Finding Nemo? Bruce. Yeah, that's your fun little tribute to the original shark from Jaws. All right, friends, now the area we're driving into right now, we call this Old Mexico. Kind of like Little Europe. When you look at it, you'll see why we call this Old Mexico. Right? Look at the plants, look at the architecture, look at the Spanish. You've actually seen this set get used as Mexico in the Jack Black movie, Nacho Libre. But for the tour, this is where we can show you how we make it rain at Universal Studios Hollywood. Take a look to your left, right? We got a storm room in there. You all see the lightning? That's just being created by strobe lights turning on and off. We hear that thunder. That's just coming from speakers hidden throughout the area. But typically we add the thunder in post-production once we're done filming. Now the rain, that's falling from something very fancy and high-tech that we here in Hollywood like to call sprinklers. But on set we'll call those rain rigs or rain bars. Rain's actually really difficult to capture on camera. It's not because your equipment might get wet. It's because cameras have a hard time seeing raindrops. It's kind of like when you're watching a football game at home on the television and the announcer says it's raining, but you can never see the raindrops on your TV set, right? That's because that rain's not properly lit. In order to make raindrops appear on camera, you gotta set a light source up from behind the raindrops to make them shiny and shimmery, and that way the camera can see them. And I'm sorry, folks, we don't usually leave the water on this long when we do. Everything overflows. We end up getting a, look at that, a flash flood. Everybody look out! Paul Giamatti's stunt double using flash flood. Now, if you're a big fan of Lady Gaga, you've seen this flash flood if you saw her music video with the song Judas. Lady Gaga herself got drenched by all of that water. Other musicians that have been here. Camila Cabello, she danced in front of the arched dory on the left for My Oh My. And the entire area of Old Mexico was used by Janet Jackson for her music video with the song Escapade. But folks, we're going to say adios to Old Mexico, and now we're going to say howdy to 6 Points, our Western sets. These streets have been used by some huge stars. Mae West from My Little Chickadee here, Jimmy Stewart from District Rides Again back here, and a few years ago, we even had 824's Maxine here. Yeah, Mia Goth and Kevin Bacon filmed a little Western showdown right here on the street. In fact, speaking of Western showdowns, take a look, see what happened to Jimmy Fallon back here.
This town ain't big enough for the both of us, Jimmy Fallon.
Well, I ain't going anywhere, Jimmy Fallon.
Now look here. A lot of folks in this tram don't want no trouble. They just want to check out 6 Points, one of the oldest sets on the Universal lot.
I hear this where John Wayne and Jimmy Stewart shot a few of their westerns.
That's right. That's where I aim to shoot here.
Looks like we got ourselves a Mexican standoff. Lucky shot.
Now what say you mount up and get out of town while the getting's good?
All right. Well, I'll see you again, Fallon.
Oh, you can count on it, Fallon. Now get.
This is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
We just have to talk about that.
Now, I really love this video because it's a great way for me to point out all of the work that the art department does behind the scenes, right? So that was filmed where we just were in 6 Points, but what's kind of different? That's because set decorators added things like wagon wheels, tumbleweeds, barrels, and boxes to the set. In the background, all of those actors were hired to fill up the space, and they all had the same hair, makeup, and wardrobe on. But there's one huge thing that was added to that set to make it look realistic, and that's the dirt. Right, if you look at the road that we're driving on, it's either asphalt or concrete. So when there's a Western movie being filmed over in 6 Points and want to make it look authentic, folks have got to bring in truckloads of dirt to dump it all over the ground. And then once you're done filming, they are required to clean up all of that dirt as well. Alrighty, folks, well, you're about to experience a moment of deja vu. Alrighty, folks, well, you're about to experience a moment of deja vu, because we're about to be driving right past the Jaws attraction one more time. Now, I just mentioned that Steven Spielberg is an incredible director behind the movie Jaws, right? But did you know that Steven Spielberg played a huge part in bringing Bruce the Shark to the studio tour?
The Jaws ride was almost the inevitable result of the size of the box office when Jaws first opened in June of 1975. And that was really the first time I ever got involved in the creation of a ride. It was a great honor to be invited into a creative circle of tremendous designers at Universal that were trying to figure out how to replicate what the movie had done to audiences in a real way by building a physical shark that would come out of the water and terrify tourists as they were sitting in the tram. And the most amazing thing about the Jaws ride is it is exactly as it was from the time it was first placed on the Universal lot. There have been tweaks, of course, over the years, but it is essentially what the designers and myself all envisioned and created. I'm done bashing the shark. Thank you, Jaws, for everything you've done for me. But I will say, consistently, the shark did work much better on the tour than it did in the Atlantic Ocean in 1974.
All right, let's expand on that. So when the movie Jaws was being made, 3 mechanical sharks were built here in Los Angeles for that movie. They were built with all of these amazing electronics and mechanics, and they worked great. Now, they were intended to be used in fresh water. The movie Jaws, though, that filmed on location off the coast of Martha's Vineyard on the East Coast, right? It filmed the Atlantic Ocean. So those mechanical sharks were shipped over to the East Coast, dropped into the Atlantic Ocean, and then they sunk to the bottom of the ocean floor. Yeah, you know it does not work really well with electronics and mechanics? Salt water. Those mechanical sharks failed left and right, delaying production on the movie Jaws by a number of months. In fact, the cast and the crew of the movie Jaws had so many issues with the sharks that they gave the sharks their own nickname. They nicknamed the sharks Flaws. But thankfully, due to some amazing direction by Steven Spielberg, it's a great performance.